Okay. Ooh, hello again. My name is Emma and welcome to Faith Night Friday. Alright, so last week we left off on Samuel. We did 15. So this week we are going on 16. Did I read the commentary last week? I think I did, but I wasn't really sure if I did or if I didn't. But anyway, I think I did. Okay, so let's just jump in, guys. Let's just jump in. So we were talking about Samuel, and if you want a recap of everything that I have been reading about, just go back into my past content about the book of Samuel, and I kind of let you know what the book is about, and I let you know where it's leading to. So I have already a few of them to just go back to the other videos. So we are on David, who is to be anointed as king. Okay, so we're just going to jump in. I had to get a cup of coffee because, oh my God, guys, it is really, really cold outside. I need a cup of coffee. So let me get ready for when I go pick up the grandkids. Get buried and get out there. Okay, so we are on 16, and as you remember in 15, Saul was rejected as being king because he was being disobedient to God, and God said, "No, I'm done. That's it. We're calling it quits here. You're not going to be king no more." And he told Samuel, "You're going to look for somebody else." And he told Samuel not to worry because he will find the king. He will show him who and where the new king will be at. So that's where we're going to go right now. So in chapter 16, 1 Samuel, the Lord said to Samuel, "How long will you go on grieving over Saul?" After God said, you're done with Saul, it hurt his heart because Samuel's heart, because he really thought that, he was going to be, he liked him and everything, and he picked him, and he thought, he did a good thing, but it wasn't really his fault. It was just, Saul was just too much of himself, and, it showed by everything that he did. And so kind of God said, get over it. So then he said, "I have rejected him as king of Israel, but now get an olive oil and go to Bethlehem to a man named Jesse, because I have chosen one of his sons to be king." "How can I do that?" Samuel asked. "If Saul hears about it, he will kill me." The Lord answered, "Take a calf with you and say that you are there to offer a sacrifice to the Lord. Invite Jesse to the sacrifice. I will tell you what to do. You will anoint as king the man I tell you to." Samuel did what the Lord told him to do and went to Bethlehem, where the city leaders came trembling to meet him and asked, "Is this a peaceful visit, seer?" Because Samuel was he was a prophet. "Yes," he answered, "I have come to offer a sacrifice to the Lord. Purify yourselves and come with me." He also told Jesse and his sons to purify themselves, and he invited them to the sacrifices. When they arrived, Samuel saw Jesse's son Eliab, and said to him, "This is the man standing here in the Lord's presence. Is surely the one he has chosen. But the Lord said to him, pay no attention to how tall and handsome he is. I have rejected him, but I do not judge as man judges. Man looks at the outward appearance, but I look at the heart. Then Jesse called to the son of Abinadab, and brought him to Samuel. But Samuel said, no, the Lord hasn't chosen him either. Jesse then brought Shammah. No, the Lord said, the Lord has not chosen him either. Samuel said, in this way Jesse brought 7 of his sons to Samuel. And Samuel said to him, no, the Lord hasn't chosen any of these. Then he asked him, do you have any more sons? Because already by now Samuel kind of probably thought, well, who's left? It's like, he didn't choose any of them. There has to be somebody, because he told me to find them within Jesse's sons. So there has to be somebody else. Jesse answered, there is still the youngest, but he is out taking care of the sheep. Tell him to come here, Samuel said. We won't offer the sacrifice until he comes. So Jesse sent for him. He was a handsome, healthy young man, and his eyes sparkled. The Lord said to Samuel, this is the one. Anoint him. Samuel took the olive oil and anointed David in front of his brothers. Immediately the Spirit of the Lord took control of David and was with him from that day on. Then Samuel returned to Ramah. David in Saul's court. The Lord's Spirit left Saul. This is something. And an evil spirit sent by the Lord tormented him. His servants said to him, we know that an evil spirit sent by God is tormenting you. So give us the order, sir, and we will look for a man who knows how to play the harp. Then, when the evil spirit comes on you, the man can play the harp and will be all right again. And Saul ordered them, find me a man who plays well and bring him to me. And this is something, because it's kind of like when the spirit leaves you, it's like you're open to the enemy. Like you're no longer part of God's presence in your life. You're like an open book for the enemy to attack you any which way he wants. And I feel that's what happened to Saul. As soon as the Spirit of God left him, it's like, oh shoot, and now he's being, bothered by these, evil spirits. And his followers, or the servants that were attending him, they said, look, we know they're tormenting you. We'll find somebody who will ease this for you, and we'll find someone who knows to play a harp, like music, so when it comes upon you, he can relieve this for you. Excuse me. One of the attendants said, Saul ordered him, find me a man who plays well and bring him to me. One of his attendants said, Jesse of the town of Bethlehem has a son who is a good musician. That was a hard one. He is a brave and handsome man, a good soldier and is an able speaker. The Lord is with him. So Saul sent messengers to Jesse to say, send me your son David, the one who takes care of the sheep. Jesse sent David to Saul with a young goat, a donkey loaded with bread, and a leather bag full of wine. David came to Saul and entered his services. Saul liked him very much and chose him as the man to carry his weapons. Then Saul sent a message to Jesse. I like David. Let him stay here in my service. Front From then on, whoever the evil spirit sent by God came on Saul, David would get his harp and play it. The evil spirits would leave and Saul would feel better and he'd be all right again. Now, I don't know. I don't think the evil spirits left just because David played the harp. I think they left because they felt the God of presence in David. That's what I think. And they said, oh shoot, David's here. Let's go. Although I think the music did help. But anyway, now here to me was the thing. Here he is. Samuel found, or God sent Samuel to find David and anointed him to be king, although he wasn't king at that moment. And then at the same time, like this was all being set up, and at the same time, Saul is being tormented by spirits. So then he goes and he finds David. And then he tells them to bring David to him. Now later on, you're going to see something happen between the relationship between David and Saul, which is very, very interesting. Okay, so we are done with chapter 16. So let's find out what the commentary has to say. So we're going to go to 1 Samuel, and we're going to go to 16. Okay, so 1 Samuel 16, this is a commentary. It goes chapter by chapter. Now again, I'm learning this. We're learning together. We're doing this together. So reject what God rejects. You expect Samuel to mourn over Saul and his sin. But mourning alone will not solve problems. There comes a time for action. See as God sees. How strange that Samuel had not learned his lesson after the failure of Saul. God told Samuel that he would tell him the man of his choice. But the old man was tempted to run ahead of the Lord. The heart determines the life, and only God can see through the heart. Let God do the rest. Samuel anointed David to be king and then departed from Bethlehem. For this work there was done. For his work there was done. How would a shepherd boy get from the fields to the throne? That was not Samuel's responsibility. God will see to it. God uses David's musical skill to bring him to the king's presence. Empowered by the Spirit, David had nothing to fear. The anonymous statement should be compared with David's prayer. It says God sees the heart. God not only sees our heart, but he sees through them and knows our thoughts and motives. We think we own our hearts, but we do not. So we had better accept God's verdict. We should be careful not to judge others since we cannot know their hearts. It's a good one. But I'm still wondering about David, how David ended up coming into the hands of Saul. And you have to remember, David was a young man. So when he came into the presence of Saul, because, he was being tormented by the spirits, I'm like, why would God send David to Saul? Why? I'm still, wondering about that. Samuel anointed David to be king and then departed from Bethlehem, for his work was done. How would a shepherd boy get from, that's what I said, how would a boy get to the field to the throne? I think through Saul. I think that's how he was going to make his way to the throne. Because he's a young man, he has to go through, in order to be king, you have to, it's like you have to go to school. It's like going to, like being president. You just can't be president. You have to go have schooling. You have to learn. You got to learn all the laws and everything in order for you to become president. You have to go through a lot. So I think that's why he put David under Saul's guidance, maybe? That's what I'm thinking. Because he was going to know the ins and outs of how to be king. That's what I'm thinking. So that was not Samuel's responsibility. God would see to it. God used David's musical skills to bring him into the king's presence. So that's what I'm saying. He used, because Saul was going through this thing, the battle of being tormented, he needed somebody to bring him comfort. And his servant said, oh, we know what to do. We know this boy who knows how to play really, really good music on his harp. He can soothe you and, drive away the demons when they come to bother you. But I'm thinking, like I said, I don't think it was that way. I think it was that David's presence of the Lord was what drove the evil spirits away. So there we are. So that's interesting, but I like what God said, that God doesn't do what man, like he said, we promise God to bring it down. Oh, where did I see it? Oh, 16, I think it was. Where did I see it? I could have sworn. Did I skip a page? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, so I think I underlined that. Yeah. He says, pay no attention to how tall. Okay, man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. And that is so true. Sometimes we tend to look at people and judge them by the look, like I said, don't judge a book by its cover, But God doesn't do that. He doesn't say, oh, just because you're beautiful, you look gorgeous, you must be a real nice person. Baloney. Even the beautiful, most gorgeous person could be mean, because we don't know their intentions in their heart. And then even the most humblest people, and the one that doesn't say a word and is real quiet, could be the most evil one. We just don't know. So always got to be careful. Always got to be careful. Okay, guys. All right. So we are going to go and to be on number 17 next week. So if you want to like and subscribe so we can continue this journey together and learn the word together, please do so. And like a fish in the sea, so glad you caught me. And we will catch you next week on Faith Night Friday. We'll see you then.